with 2 balls in a Cuphead, there's a nice looping trick using the outside multiplex throw. And the pattern looks like this. So you're just doing continuous outside multiplexes. And because of this combination of props, of using only 1 Cuphead but 2 balls, many of the outside multiplex throws in the patterns makes the patterns look like they're asymmetrical. Whereas some of the other patterns using the inside multiplex throw, they kind of repeat on both sides. You first have the club on the right side and then on the left side. And that's because, of course, on the inside multiplex throw, the club crosses back and forth. And since there's only 1 club in these patterns, it appears that the patterns are then symmetrical. They happen once on either side in a regular rhythm. But now we're doing the outside multiplex throw where the club stays in the same hand that throws it. And that makes it look like these patterns are then asymmetrical. And so that throw where the ball crosses to the other hand and the club stays in the same hand, you start off by doing that. And underneath that throw, of course, there's another ball in the other hand. And that ball that's on top is going to cross to the other hand in the outside multiplex throw. So underneath that throw that comes off the cup of the Cuphead, you're going to give that ball underneath to the empty hand so you can catch that crossing ball. So you do the multiplex and then you give underneath. And then of course what's happening is that club, it's coming down into that hand, but there's a ball there. So what you want to do is throw that ball again to the other side, to the other hand to get rid of that ball. So the first few moves look like this. And then you can stop there. So you have the multiplex with the hand over underneath. And then as that club's coming down, before you catch it, there's a ball you want to get rid of. So you're just going to throw that to the other side, to the other hand. And you can stop here. You end up with 2 balls in one hand and the Cuphead in the other hand. Of course, in reality, when you do the multiplex throw, you can already hand across the ball underneath in the same beat of time, in the same rhythm. So instead of thinking that you're going to do the rhythm like 1 and then 2 to hand across underneath it, you have to move faster in that in order for the trick to work. So you can think that in the first beat of time, 2 things are happening simultaneously. There's the outside multiplex and there's the hand across underneath. So that's the first moment of time. 1 and then 2. The second beat of time is going to be that cascade to get rid of the ball in order to catch the Cuphead. And then we'll stop here. So you have 1, 2, and then you can stop. And when you're ready to go on after that, instead of stopping here, you notice that the ball's coming in the air. This is very hard to do in slow motion, but the ball's coming down, and instead of just catching it, you'll see that the Cuphead is in the other hand with an empty cup. So what you want to do then is while that ball's in the air, you want to reach across underneath and free up the catching hand by putting the ball in the cup, and then you can catch the ball over here. And you're back to the beginning position, right? This is how the trick starts. So you have the first beat of time, the multiplex and the hand across. The second beat of time is the ball going through the air. And as it's going through the air, what you want to do is quickly reach under, over, across, put the ball in the cup, and then come back and catch that ball. So if I kind of fake that ball in the air, like that. And it's really not that hard. You have a lot of time. You can make that throw as high as you like. When the club comes down, there's nothing forcing you to make the throw high or low. So if you need more time, just make the throw higher. And you can do this placement, get your hand back over there to catch the ball. It's not that hard. So we have 1, 2, 3. Right, the third move, and then beat of time there, which kind of happens again almost at the same time. You can count it in different beats of time if you like. I like to think about it as a 3-beat trick. I go 1, 2, 3. And the 3, of course, is I'm putting the ball in the cup and catching that ball over there. And we're back to the beginning. Like many of these tricks that don't self-regenerate, then it's up to you to keep the rhythm going, the pattern going, at the speed that you like. So here I'm actually done, but of course, as soon as I put that ball in the cup, there is, of course, a split second before I catch the last catch there. And in that split second, I can already be moving the Cuphead in order to do the multiplex again. So there isn't really a gap in the timing of the pattern, even though it's not a natural juggling rhythm. It's more of a forced, imposed rhythm from my own desire to have it not stop. Don't forget that when you do this outside multiplex throw, you really want to start with the club up to go down, to go up again for the throw. And in that way, it's perfect. As soon as you put the ball in the cup there and you're waiting for that split second before you catch the final ball from the air, you can already be moving the cup head where you need it to go in order to make the next throw. When you're first learning, do one circle series of all the throws and moves back to the beginning, and then you can stop. Right? And you can breathe and be happy that you caught it. If you want to keep going, then just don't stop. Really think about having the Cuphead lead the next version, the next beat of rhythm of the pattern.